Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
A woman is recovering after being shot while sitting in her vehicle late last night. Details coming up.
Plus, the State Department is sending out an urgent warning telling U.S. citizens in Afghanistan to avoid traveling to the airport in Kabul.
Outside with live cam this morning, more of the same, but we're keeping an eye on the situation in the tropics with the KSAT weather team. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, August 26th.
Hi, good morning. Happy Thursday. Happy Friday, Junior, officially today.
I hope you slept well last night. Mike is here with more as we kind of keep an eye on things with our experts in the weather department.
Yes, and before we even talk about that, we've got subtle changes now that are starting to take place. You know, we had a couple of those showers, thunderstorms pop up yesterday, and a little bit better chance to see a few more of them today. So,
where were there storms yesterday?
Kind of bopping around. I got the alert on my phone.
How about that?
From the KSAT weather app. So, good idea to download that thing. And it says if there's rain in the area or there's lightning close to your area. Anyway, we will see a few more of those actually starting to develop later on this morning. And pretty tranquil morning out there. Yeah, it's kind of the same old right now. So, like I said, subtle changes because things really haven't changed too much this morning compared to the past couple of days. 79 Stinson, Randolph, 78 at the airport. Humidity may actually be down just a notch or two, although still a lot of humidity up there in Canyon Lake. Heat index right now 87 Canyon Lake, 80 at the airport, and we are going to have temperatures. First of all, low mold is showing up right now, and it's probably going to be staying on the low side when the update comes out about 7:30. 76 degrees this morning, mostly cloudy skies, and then, like I said, by late morning we will start to see even a couple of showers popping up here and there, and then a few more, about a 30% chance for some scattered showers and a couple of thunderstorms later on today. Temperatures, okay, we'll shave off a degree, shave off a couple of degrees tomorrow, but we will keep that, albeit small to moderate chance for some rain around all the way through the weekend. We'll talk about that coming up in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Mark?
Thank you, Mike. New this morning, San Antonio police responded to a call for a shooting late last night. It happened on Raybon Drive, just south of Eisenhower, on the city's northeast side. Police say a woman was sitting in her car when a man walked up and fired into her vehicle. She was hit twice. SAPD says the man then took off running. The woman told police she didn't know the suspect. She was rushed to Brooke Army Medical Center. Police say she is in critical condition but is expected to survive. We have a live look right now from Kabul International Airport in Afghanistan. This morning, there's an urgent new warning to Americans trying to evacuate the country before the U.S. withdrawal deadline next Tuesday.
And right now, they're being told not to approach that airport in Kabul. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has the latest.
Overnight, the State Department sending out an urgent warning telling U.S. citizens in Afghanistan to avoid traveling to the airport in Kabul because of security threats outside of the gates. The alert also warning any Americans gathering at 3 specific airport gates to leave immediately, adding, be aware of your surroundings at all times, especially in large crowds. It's not clear what prompted the advisory, but earlier, Secretary of State Antony Blinken expressed concern about threats from a new branch of ISIS, ISIS-K.
We're operating in a hostile environment in a city and country now controlled by the Taliban, with the very real possibility of an ISIS-K attack.
Up to 1,500 Americans remain inside Afghanistan, among them 23 students from a school near San Diego.
Extremely worried.
The students were visiting family over summer vacation when the Taliban took over.
We understand currently that they're still in homes with families and friends, so we're hopeful.
U.S.-led evacuations are ramping up. 19,000 people were flown out of the country between Tuesday and Wednesday, but outside the airport, a chaotic scramble. These civilians facing desperate conditions, wading in knee-deep sewage, waving their documents, hoping to get out. Parents are now using markers to write their names on their children's bodies after reports of families being separated. Heavily armed Taliban are patrolling the streets as we learn more about the arsenal left behind by the U.S. for Afghan forces. 980,000 infantry weapons, 22,000 Humvees, and about 150 aircraft, all of it possibly now in the hands of Taliban fighters. As for the evacuation of Americans, the Pentagon says helicopter missions are rescuing people behind Taliban lines. The State Department says it will keep evacuating people after August 31st, but has not explained how. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Today, President Joe Biden and Israel's Prime Minister Naftali Bennett are set to hold their first face-to-face meeting. His first trip to the U.S. as Prime Minister, Israel's new leader is expected to press Biden to give up pursuit of reviving the Iran nuclear deal. Bennett argues that Iran has already advanced its uranium enrichment and that sanctions relief would give Iran more resources to back Israel's enemies in the region. The Biden-Bennett sit-down comes just weeks after Iran swore in its new president.
Pfizer and BioNTech are now seeking the Food and Drug Administration's approval of a third dose of their COVID-19 vaccine. According to a statement, the companies say they plan to have all their data submitted within the next few days. The findings are based on 306 people who received the booster shot a few months after their second COVID-19 shot. They say the subjects who got the booster vaccine had higher antibodies and only suffered mild to moderate side effects.
A federal trial date now set for February 22 in the Ahmaud Arbery case. Arbery jogging when three men confronted him and chased him in a subdivision. The incident came to an end when a weapon was fired at Arbery, killing him. Three Georgia men, Gregory Michael, his son Travis, and William Bryan were indicted on federal charges early this year. They are facing hate crimes and attempted kidnapping charges. Bryan and McMichaels have pled not guilty to the federal charges and claim that Arbery was burglarizing an area home that was under construction. They are being held in jail without bond.
And time now is 4:36 and it's about 78 degrees out there. Normal permanent press, hot, cold, all settings on a typical washer these days. But what do they all do? We have some easy lessons that will make doing the laundry a little easier.
And next, some good news for the San Antonio Spurs, plus a preview of high school football action kicking off here in San Antonio.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning. Did you get rain yesterday? Well, I didn't, Mark didn't, but we have more chances tomorrow and this weekend. We'll be right back.
In morning sports, the Spurs have made it official. They have signed guard Bryn Forbes to a new contract to return to the Silver and Black. In fact, they released this video of the NBA champion signing on the dotted line. He is back in the Silver and Black to help the Spurs improve their three-point shooting since he was fourth in the league from long range last season. Haynes King is the new starting quarterback for the Fighting Texas Aggies. The 6'3", 200-pound redshirt freshman from Longview out in East Texas beat out sophomore Zach Calzada. Head coach Jimbo Fisher revealed his decision during an appearance on a Houston radio station. King replaces former Reagan High School star Kellen Mond. Mond led the Aggies to a 9-1 finish last year and fourth overall in the nation before he was drafted by the Minnesota Vikings. One of the biggest games in the state will take place in high school football tomorrow night when the Judson Rockets host the DeSoto Eagles. This will be a showdown between two of the top 25 teams in the state in Class 6A, according to Texas Football Magazine. The Eagles come into this game after a 10-2 finish last year, making it to the regional finals. The Rockets, meanwhile, looking to rebound after being knocked out in the first round of the playoffs last season by Roosevelt. Keep in mind the 2021 high school football season officially kicks off tonight with the renewal of an old local rivalry, O'Connor versus Brandeis at Ferris Stadium. Now, some Missions baseball. Missions led early in the game, but the Rockhounds tried to regain the lead. 5 Missions pitchers combined to allow just one run on 2 hits. And some clutch hitting late in the game was the key to a Missions 3-1 victory over the Rockhounds. The series continues tonight at 7:05.
Yeah, good luck. Time now, 4:41 and about 78 degrees out there.
If your kid's off to college, you might want to give them a laundry refresher. We have the do's and don'ts of getting clothes clean.
Also next, how a popular airline is looking to penalize staff who remain unvaccinated. And welcome back. It's about 4:44. Delta Airlines is raising healthcare costs for staff who remain unvaccinated. ABC's Mona Kassar Abdi has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the cost of COVID getting a whole lot higher, not just physically, but financially too, especially for the unvaccinated. Delta Airlines saying Wednesday that starting November 1st, unvaccinated employees will face a $200 monthly surcharge on their health insurance. In fact, Delta CEO says on average, unvaccinated Delta employees who were hospitalized cost the company $50,000 per person.
You're not getting a vaccine really isn't a personal decision. It affects everyone in our society. And for financial purposes, it affects everyone in your insurance pool.
Experts say COVID hospitalization can cost as much as $100,000. So the question this morning is, what will insurance companies cover? Coming up at 7 a.m., we'll talk to Dan Abrams about what this could all mean legally. With your GMA First Look, I'm Mona Kosar-Abdi, ABC News, New York.
If you have a student heading off to college, you probably have less laundry to do.
But they might not know how to do that properly on their own. So 12 on your side's Marilyn Morris has some laundry do's and don'ts that we can all learn from.
I'm looking forward to not washing dishes anymore while I'm in college.
College freshman Gabriella Garita may not have dishes to wash, but there will be laundry.
I think I actually started doing my own laundry in like 7th or 8th grade.
But in case there are some novices out there, Consumer Reports' Keith Flamer offers a little Laundry 101. Lesson 1, keep it cool, mostly.
Hot water accounts for 90% of a washing machine's energy. We've been conditioned to think that everything needs to be sanitized and washed in the hottest water.
Tests have found that detergents nowadays are much better at removing dirt and stains at lower temperatures. So save the hot water for oily stains and bed sheets and towels if somebody's sick. For everything else, check the label and go cold when you can. Lesson 2, less is more. Don't overload the washer. It can damage the machine and won't clean as well. Same for detergent.
Many people are under the false impression that more detergent will get your clothes cleaner, but too much detergent is bad for the environment. Plus, it can leave more residue on your clothes.
And of course, separate your laundry and use the right cycle to protect the lifespan of your clothing. And a final note from Gabriella, fold as soon as the laundry's done, because nobody likes to iron.
Try to just do it all in one shot and get it over with.
Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
4:46 on your Thursday morning as Mike Osterhage does a quick jog over. Don't run into the camera.
Take your time. Take your time. Yeah, you were talking about rain yesterday. Some people actually saw it.
Yeah, a couple of, we had mentioned it was going to be primarily sea breeze, but yeah, a lot of this moved into the area.
Nice.
Yeah, I was fixing dinner last night looking out. It's like, wow. I mean, it was great to see the clouds out there. Despite that, we still got up to 97 degrees before some of those clouds started to move on in. And temperatures will still be on the warm side, but they are going to be shaved off just a degree or two as time rolls on. Nice tranquil morning right now. We'll have some of our morning clouds. And here's the satellite radar loop going back the past 12 hours. And you can see once this starts over again, there were those showers and thunderstorms. A lot moved through Atascosa as well as Frio and Medina counties yesterday. Then as soon as the sun went down, they just sort of fizzled on out. And that's what we're going to be seeing the next couple of days. So here's computer model. And this one does a pretty good job depicting what's going to be going on by actually late this morning. We may see a few of these showers and storms trying to pop up around here and then scattered about the area. Call it about a 30% chance for a few showers. Again, a thunderstorm or two. If you get one of the thunderstorms, you may have a fairly decent downpour associated with it and some gusty winds because there's still a lot of moisture to work with in the atmosphere. And then, of course, once the sun goes down, those will be dying down again. And then we'll have a few more developing by tomorrow and through the afternoon hours. So roughly the same situation. We're about a 30 and sometimes up it a little bit as far as the rain chances even going into tomorrow. And we'll have the same scenario Saturday, Sunday as well. Now going into the first part of next week. You're still watching that disturbance there, and I call it a disturbance. It is not technically even a tropical low as of yet or tropical depression. So computer models are still not really kind of getting a firm grip on this thing because there's technically nothing out there that they can really latch onto. There's also another one out there in the middle of the Atlantic and well off in the eastern Atlantic, but obviously that's the one we are keeping an eye on. And computer models, the long range ones that I like to look at. First of all, this one keeps some of those showers around here through the weekend and then going into Saturday as well as Sunday. And this still is trending. And got to emphasize, this isn't written in stone, but that has been the trend even with the other computer model to keep this well off to the east of us. It's going to be making land if indeed this comes to be over there in Louisiana, around New Orleans. And the other computer model has roughly the same scenario, and that's going to keep everything well to the east of us. So it's this high, which is eventually going to kind of ease up and sort of create a bit of a blocking situation. And so that's what's going to divert that off to the east of us. But again, this isn't written in stone. Things can change between now and then. So we'll just keep monitoring it very, very closely. 89 degrees, partly cloudy skies today at noon. High temperature up to 96. Lower than yesterday, still a degree or two above normal. Some of those scattered showers and thunderstorms around the area, a little bit of free lawn watering, and it won't be raining constantly or everywhere. But what's nice is there's decent rain chances all the way through the weekend. And ironically, as that tropical system gets closer, our rain chances go down. Because we're going to be on the, as it looks right now, the sinking side of it, the non-rainy side of it, if you will. So
does that kind of, suck the rain out of the air, but it kind of essentially, right?
Kind of, sort of, yeah. I mean, the direction of travel to the right-hand side of it, so in this case to the east, that's where the heaviest rain is. On the left-hand side of it, the air is sinking, so we would be on the drier side, which is why those rain chances go down.
All right, well, at least we have the chances this weekend.
Right, today really through Saturday, Sunday.
Meanwhile, we will take it. Thank you, Mike. 451, about 78 degrees.
And coming up next, the new Spider-Man teaser trailer is breaking records. Plus, the final season of a popular TV show is about to debut.
Here are your lottery numbers. Pick 3, 533, Fireball 2. Your daily 4 numbers, 2, 3, 6, 8, Fireball 7.
Cash 5, 4, 8, 16, 21, 26. Lotto Texas, 9, 19, 20, 31, 45, 48. And your Powerball numbers, 27, 39, 54, 56, 59. Powerball 24, Power Play 3. Good luck.
Just about 5 till, trouble on the set of a major Marvel movie, plus a big debut for the new Spider-Man trailer.
For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
Black Panther star Letitia Wright has been hurt on the set of the upcoming Marvel sequel. Marvel says Wright suffered minor injuries from a stunt. She was taken to the hospital and was expected to be released soon. The movie's filming in Boston.
That's right, folks. Spider-Man is in fact Peter Parker.
A record debut for the new Spider-Man trailer. The first look at the upcoming film No Way Home premiered this week. Sony says it destroyed the all-time record for views in 24 hours with 355 million. Previous best was Avengers Endgame, 289 million back in 2019.
What just happened?
I'm Liberty.
Ryder.
Marseille Martin is a very busy teen, having voiced a character in the Paw Patrol movie, which just came out, and she's hard at work right now in the final season of Blackish. And she says it hasn't gotten emotional yet.
It is very bittersweet. I feel like it hasn't really sucked in yet, mostly because we're still filming, but I think probably on the last day we'll probably see a lot of tears.
No word yet when the final season of Blackish debuts on ABC, the show up for 6 Emmys next month. And happy birthday, Melissa McCarthy. The 9 Perfect Strangers star is 51 today, while actor Macaulay Culkin is 41. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
It is my mom's birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Try to put a picture up a little bit later.
All right, stay with us.
456, about 78 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, more states, including Texas, are in need of ventilators as the number of COVID patients across the country reaches a 7-month high. How the federal government is responding.
Plus, popular mini arcade maker, its newest product that features dozens of popular board games in a digital format. More details in Tech Bites.
The West Coast continues to be plagued with wildfires, a new fire in California forcing evacuations and threatening farm animals. We're going to have more on GMSA at 6.
And Stephen Cavazos is here. We have a live update with him coming up at the top of the hour right now. Very light traffic at Loop 410 at Fredericksburg.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Making news this hour. A woman is killed in a car crash overnight. We will have details.
More hospitals across the country in dire need of ventilators as COVID cases hit a 7-month high. I'm ABC's Faith Abube in Washington. Details coming up.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, we're starting at 78 degrees. Not too bad. It will heat up, but we are excited about the chance of rain.
Yeah, over a couple of days. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, the 26th.
Happy Thursday. Thanks for joining us. Rise and shine. It's going to be a great day because it's almost Friday.
It is. We're going to talk to Stephen in just 1 second. He's literally just out of arm's reach, but Mike Osterhage is up first.
Good morning, everyone. While we are starting to see subtle changes, which does include, as Stephanie was talking about, some rain chances moving into the picture, and that's nice to see, and it's going to be sticking around for a while. Not a great chance, but since you got each and every day for roughly the next 4 days, that means the odds are you'll see a couple of showers. 78 degrees right now. Not much has really changed in the morning, however, because it's warm and it's fairly humid out there. 96 high temperature, which is still a degree above where we should be, but it's down from yesterday's reading of 97 degrees, and that despite the fact we did hit 97, despite the fact we did have a couple of showers and even a few thunderstorms that popped up around the area in the afternoon. The aquifer, this could use a recharge. Hopefully some of those storms that pop up sit over the recharge zone, because it's been dropping down fairly steadily, down another 0.8 of a foot in yesterday's reading, and mold is on the low side. Speaking of some of those showers and storms, here's the satellite and radar loop going back 12 hours. And yeah, in the afternoon, you saw some of those storms pop up around there, especially around Atascosa, Frio, Medina counties. Got an alert on my phone and it said, yeah, there's some rain in your general vicinity and maybe some lightning strikes out there. And of course, once the sun went down, those things died down, but we will see more later on today. So warm and humid this morning. It's not like steam bath out there, but humid enough, as you would expect. And then partly cloudy skies, scattered showers and a few storms today. Tomorrow we'll have scattered storms. And again, we're not talking a sure thing, but at least there is that chance, and that's going to hold temperatures down a few degrees. So we'll be normal or even a little bit below that, right around mid-90s, even going through the weekend, and some more scattered storms. What is going on in the tropics? We'll answer that question coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen Cavazos. Good morning, sir. Anything we need to know about?
Hey, good morning, Mike. Just some good news here off 281 and Hildebrand. Looks almost like a ghost road there. Just a few cars out right now this morning, as some folks are getting up early with us here on GMSA. They have nothing that they can expect that's going to cause any delays as they're going to get their morning started right now. Just a few cars again here off 281 at Hildebrand. But we do want to bring your attention to a crash that was reported around 3:30 this morning here off Loop 410 southbound at Marbach. I just refreshed the TxDOT website. It does appear that crash has since cleared out. So, but either way, use caution when you're hitting the roads this morning. We're not seeing anything big right now. A lot of green on the screen, of course, which is what we like to see as we're getting a new day started. But let's go ahead and take a look at those inbound times. If you're going to be traveling and heading out the door there in the next few moments, 25 on I-10 coming in from Bernie to the downtown San Antonio area. We do have 26 minutes on 281 coming in from Bulverde and 25 on 35 coming in from New Braunfels. One last look at TransGuide. 281 at Hildebrand. Just a few folks out on the roads. We have more construction to be on the lookout for. And for now, we'll keep our eyes on the road, and you should too. Mark, Stephanie?
Stephen, thank you very much. New this morning, a woman is dead following an early morning crash on the northwest side. According to the San Antonio Fire Department, a woman in her 40s was driving along the I-10 access road between Vance Jackson and West Avenue when she lost control of her vehicle. A fire official says the woman drove up an embankment and rolled her vehicle. Firefighters tried to rescue her, but they were unsuccessful. She died at the scene. The woman's identity and the official cause of the crash have not been released.
Also new this morning, San Antonio police say a man and woman are on the run after causing a crash in the downtown area overnight. It happened just after 11 p.m. at the intersection of North Alamo Street and 9th Street. Police say the man and woman collided with another vehicle after running a stop sign. Police say they also crashed into a utility pole and a building before they got out and ran away. No one was hurt. CPS Energy was called out to fix that pole.
Well, last night, the Board of Trustees at the Sherp-Cibolo Universal City ISD, or SCUC ISD, officially made the decision to strongly recommend the use of face masks and other protective measures for students and staff.
That's after a 4-hour school board meeting that featured testimony from many parents and community members. As a result of the meeting, the board is not requiring the wearing of face coverings in SCUC ISD schools. During the meeting, the board says it reviewed up-to-date district data on the spread of COVID-19 and results from recent surveys sent out to parents and staff. More than 6,700 parents filled out the survey. Most of them were in favor of a mask mandate. The results were similar among staff.
You give people the choice, they're going to send their kids to school sick. It's happening already. That's the choice that you want me to do.
This is completely destroying kids' mental health. Suicide rates are skyrocketing up to 50%.
There are currently 322 active COVID cases in the school district. There are 121 cases across 8 elementary schools versus 93 cases across 4 high schools.
Meanwhile, Governor Greg Abbott has signed an executive order that bans governmental entities from requiring the COVID-19 vaccine. San Antonio Mayor Ron Nierberg is responding to the order.
Considering the fact that we have vaccine mandates for a lot of things to keep people safe. I don't know what his intentions are. They are clearly not what ours are, which are about protecting communities.
The order also applies to businesses that partner with the state but does not extend to private businesses or nursing homes. Bexar County continues to see more than 1,100 cases a day, according to a 7-day average. More than 1,300 COVID patients are currently being treated at area hospitals. This morning, there's new data on booster shots.
It comes as COVID hospitalizations across the country top 100,000 for the first time since January. ABC's Faith Abube has the latest.
This morning, more hospitals are in need of ventilators as the number of COVID patients across the country hits a 7-month high.
It's a very different beast.
Hospitals in Georgia and Texas now receiving hundreds of ventilators from the U.S. stockpile. In Galveston, the COVID ward at this hospital is full. Nearly all COVID patients in the ICU are on ventilators, and all but one are unvaccinated.
I say every day, I wish those people could take a walk through these units and see what these patients are going through.
As a CDC advisory board plans to meet next week to discuss the rollout of COVID vaccine booster shots. On Wednesday, Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson revealed data showing their booster shots dramatically increase protection.
The Johnson & Johnson shot, actually a booster shot, can raise those antibody levels up to 9 times. And Pfizer can raise it about 3 times. That's really important because that might actually not only prevent some of those infections in people who are already vaccinated, but it might also prevent the spread in the future.
More drama from both sides of the debate over mask mandates. In Connecticut, anti-mask protesters disrupted the governor's discussion about the new school year. And in Texas, a man in favor of mask mandates stripped down to his underwear at the school board meeting to prove his point.
At work, they make me wear this jacket. I hate it. It's simple protocol, people. We follow certain rules. We follow certain rules for a very good reason.
And the current surge in COVID cases is taking a terrible toll on young people. The latest victims in Louisiana include a high school football player and a baby under the age of 1. In Washington, Faith Abube, ABC News.
Right now it's 5:07, about 78 degrees.
And still ahead, how Apple might be trying to get its Face ID software to work with masks.
September 1st fast approaching. That means new laws for Texas. We'll tell you what you need to know about constitutional carry.
And we're getting a live look now from the Kabul International Airport in Afghanistan this morning. There's an urgent new warning to Americans trying to evacuate the country before the U.S. withdrawal deadline next Tuesday. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says as many as 1,500 Americans in Afghanistan may still be waiting evacuation with just days to go. We're going to have more throughout the morning here on GMSA.
Back here at home outside with live cam. Showers and storms in the forecast. Mike says it's not going to be a widespread event, but he's saying there's a chance. We'll be back. The countdown to September 1st means a countdown to new laws here in Texas.
One of those laws will allow most Texans 21 years and older to carry a handgun without a permit. Current laws require Texans to have a license to carry, which includes a background check and training. The owner of Lone Star Handgun says the number of students in his classes have started to decrease.
On a normal month, we teach between about 200 people on license to carry stuff. That's significantly dropped. We've had about a 60 to 70% reduction.
While the license won't be required next month, Texans can still choose to go through their training for education and safety. There are still limits on where you are allowed to carry handguns. For example, a license is still required to carry on a college campus. All right, the goal is to help fight hunger here at home. Hunger Action Month kicking off in less than a week. It's also when we'll be live streaming KSAT Community Town Hall. Max Massey and Sarah Costa will be your hosts, and they'll be joined by the San Antonio Food Bank CEO Eric Cooper, along with experts on food insecurity here in Bexar County.
We also want to hear from you. If you have any questions about food insecurity, you can submit those now on our website at KSAT.com. The town hall will be on Wednesday, September 1st at 2 p.m. and that's going to be on our website and the KSAT streaming app.
We'll have more about that in the coming days. Right now, 512, about 78 degrees.
And still ahead, the popular Pokemon Go app is changing the ways players can interact with characters and items in their environment.
Plus, more about Arcade 1-Up's Infinity Game Table.
Trilogy for COPD.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day.
No matter how you got COPD, it's time to make a stand.
And I'm feeling.
Start a new day with Trilogy. No once-daily COPD medicine has the power to treat COPD in as many ways as Trilogy. With 3 medicines and 1 inhaler, Trilogy helps people breathe easier and improves lung function. It also helps prevent future flare-ups. Trilogy won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Do not take Trilogy more than prescribed. Trilogy may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur. It's time to start a new day. Ask your doctor about once daily Trilogy and save at Trilogy.com.
Welcome back, 516. Apple reportedly working on an upgrade to Face ID that will work with masks. Finally, ABC's Andrew Dimbert has details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, are you having trouble using Face ID wearing a mask? According to reports, Apple is working on a solution, testing an upgrade for the iPhone 13, but it's unclear if it will be ready by the time Apple unveils the 13 model, expected in a few weeks. The distance limit for Pokemon Go is changing again. The game's developer is upping the mark to 80 meters. That's the distance set last year at the start of the pandemic. The move follows customer complaints when the limit was put back to its original 40 meters this month. Finally, the future of family game night. The Infinity Game Table features digital versions of more than 40 classic board games, from Monopoly and Scrabble to Candyland and Operation. It's Wi-Fi enabled with a 24-inch touchscreen, allowing up to 6 people to play remotely. It costs $650, but those sibling arguments are free. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Do you want me to call them or text them?
It's up to you.
Let them know that.
Or do you want me to wait a
watching.
little bit to show your mom's picture?
We can do this more than one time.
I don't know.
Yeah, just in case they're up.
I'll call them here during your weather.
Okay, but I know who's up right now. Stephen Cavazos is awake, so we'll go ahead and talk to him real quick.
You know what? The good thing is there's not a lot going on the road, so we can get to that photo pretty quickly here. So let's go ahead and just talk about what's going on. 281 to San Pedro, pretty quiet right now this morning. As you can see, people getting their morning started early with us, and as we take a look here at these shots of TransGuide, thankfully no issues out on the road. We did have some construction out here off US 90 at Montgomery. Very dark. Just drive carefully through that area. And as you can see on the map, it's pretty green on the screen. As I mentioned, nothing to be on the lookout for that's going to cause any delays this morning. But construction, as I talked about the last time we were here, roadway repairs that are taking place out north, out towards Guadalupe County line. Now, what's going to be going on there is there's the full closure in both directions. It's going to be from 3 miles north of FM 1681 to Zion Hill Road. It's going to be happening up until Friday. That's tomorrow. So we're almost done with that. It's 8 in the morning to 7 in the evening. So again, something to be on the lookout for. That should be wrapping up tomorrow. But one last look at TransGuide. Pretty quiet right now. And let's get to the good stuff.
Yes.
For drum roll. There it is.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Mommy.
Mrs. Moster.
Birthday, Mom. Yeah, and there's Dad. Lucky I still have both my folks. I love them very much.
Yes.
And Mom's birthday today.
Yes.
Of course. I won't ask how old she is.
And I can't tell you. I don't honestly remember. I'm horrible at remembering ages. I remember the dates.
You're supposed to say you never talk about a woman's age.
I never talk about a woman's age.
That's what you're supposed to say.
That's what I meant to say.
So, here, I'll tell you what. Take the close-up on this camera, but you come over and get in the shot, just so we can have
that's
nice beauty shot. So you come over and get in that shot. There
Here,
you go.
let me take a picture. Don't move.
Yeah.
One.
Oh, don't be goofy. Just
1, 2, 3. Okay, well, hold on. 1, 2, 3. Cheese.
People are like,
"Oh, we're gonna send this.
Are we gonna have weather at some point?"
Yes.
Thank you, Mike.
Well, happy birthday.
It's hot out
Happy
there.
birthday,
Mark's
Mrs.
mom,
Austin.
and a big thank you to his dad, Air Force veteran.
Yes, sir.
C-5 pilot, among other aircraft. All right, looking outside right now, fairly tranquil morning, and we did have warm temperatures again yesterday, despite the fact that we had some of those showers that developed in the afternoon. So still in the hot time of the year. Yes, normal high temperatures are on the downward slide, but it really doesn't take a whole lot of sunshine before clouds move in to get those temperatures to really crank up there. So mid and upper 90s, but only a handful of triple digits on this map. And same thing for today, maybe shave off a degree or two as far as the high temperatures go today, because we'll start to see some of the showers developing a little bit sooner in the day. We'll still have heat index readings getting up close to triple digits and up to about 105, and higher than that down to the south and to the southeast. The other thing is, so the past couple of days we've had lower humidity in the afternoon, going through that usual cycle. Well, yes, the dew points are going to be dropping, but maybe not quite as much in the afternoon. So, well, yeah, it's going to feel a lot more humid, but then there's more moisture for some of these showers and storms to work with, which means if you get one of those thunderstorms to pop up, could have a fairly decent downpour. Humidity comes back up tomorrow morning. We do the same thing then tomorrow afternoon, and notice how it doesn't come down quite as much. So yes, humidity will be sticking around, but at least in this case, it is going to get squeezed out in the form of rain. And once again, here's the computer models, and this shows that we do have the chance for some rain, not everywhere, but the chance will exist through the weekend and then into Sunday. Now, of course, then we have to look off to the east, and as I mentioned last half hour, the trend is for that system, if indeed it does develop, which it looks like it will. The Hurricane Center says it's pretty much a sure thing it is going to develop into a tropical depression at least, and that's going to be staying well to the east of us. And again, what's ironic is the fact that when it gets the closest to us, we have lesser rain chances, because with the counterclockwise circulation, the rainiest side of a storm like this is on the right-hand side of it in relation to the direction of travel, where the lift is in the atmosphere, and this is on the sinking side of it. So that's why rain chances are going to be dropping down once that moves in here closer. Computer or spaghetti models and the various computer models are pretty much, again, in agreement. But again, this is not written in stone. Still something we've got to watch very, very closely. Once this finally does develop into something, then all the computer models can get a much better grip on where it may or may not go. 89 degrees, partly cloudy skies at noon, and then a high temperature today makes it up to 96. A few scattered showers and thunderstorms. We'll probably see a few of these even developing by noontime. And again, if you get one of the storms, could have a decent downpour. Same thing tomorrow, and then going in through the weekend, we'll have that chance for some showers and thunderstorms around here. A lesser chance by the first part of next week. And temperatures are going to be held in check this weekend.
Well, we'd rather have that 30% over several days than a just giant deluge from some sort of tropical system.
Right.
True.
But again, any of these storms could have a pretty decent downpour.
Downpours.
Yeah.
All right, well, watch out for it. Thanks, Mike.
522, about 78 degrees.
And coming up next in your morning spotlight, records are being broken everywhere, from the new Spider-Man teaser trailer to the F9 box office.
Seems everyone and everything in entertainment is setting records these days. Movies, trailers, even the subject of a new documentary.
CNN's David Daniel keeps our record book up to date in today's Hollywood Minute.
The entire world is about to forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Wait, everyone? It seems no one has forgotten about Spidey. Sony says the first teaser trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home was viewed 355 million times in its first 24 hours online. That shatters the old record of 289 million views set by Avengers Endgame. Spider-Man No Way Home swings into theaters December 17th.
No one outruns their past.
The box office still isn't back to normal since the pandemic hit, but that's not the fault of F9. According to The Wrap, the latest film in the Fast saga has crossed the $700 million mark in worldwide ticket sales, the best of any film since 2019.
There is pain in training, pain in running, and joy at the end of the marathon.
Kipchoge, the last milestone, shows marathon world record holder Eliud Kipchoge trying to do something many have long thought impossible: run a marathon in under 2 hours. The documentary, which debuted on digital platforms this week, follows the Olympic champion from his Kenyan training grounds to his record attempt in Vienna, as he attempts to, in his words, inspire the human family. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Steph, you run. Is that superhuman?
Yes, that's superhuman.
But not impossible. It's just nobody's done it yet, right?
Well, I mean, to me, it looks impossible. Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch that. That's amazing.
It looks like a really good documentary.
Yeah, just like normal people do double plus double that time.
I got you.
So, right, normal people like me. That's a really amazing. Time now, 5:27 and 78 degrees.
Tensions continue to grow outside of Kabul's international airport as time is running out for many to escape the country by the August 31st deadline.
Plus, scammers are once again trying to take advantage of your generosity. We're going to tell you which ones to look out for.
Do you have what it takes to become a chief spirit officer? We'll tell you about this spirited job at a popular Halloween store.
The coronavirus has affected us all in many ways, and ahead on GMSA at 6, we're going to tell you what the pandemic is doing to drug addicts and minority communities here at home.
Making headlines this morning, time is out for many people trying to escape Afghanistan by the August 31st deadline.
What we know as a highway access road proved to be a deadly path for one woman overnight. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. That woman was killed in a crash. I'll tell you more about it.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, it is a 78-degree kind of Thursday, well, at least for now. It's going to warm up quite a bit.
Good morning to you. It is Thursday, August 26th.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Look forward to the heat for now, but also we can look forward to some rain.
That's right. And it won't all be afternoon showers, Mike. You said some could pop up maybe earlier in the day?
Yeah, even by late morning, about noontime, we'll probably start to see some of those showers developing, especially off to the east. And then as things warm up this afternoon, more are going to continue to fire up. Of course, we had some of those showers around here yesterday, even a couple of thunderstorms late in the afternoon. So as Steph mentioned, we are at 78 degrees right now. That's 4 above normal. We may drop another couple of notches, but we're really not seeing big changes, just subtle changes, especially when it's in regards to the rain chances later on. Dew points at 72, so yeah, it's humid, but not steam bath humidity. Here's the water vapor imagery, and of course, the past couple of days we've had a lot of dry air upstairs in the atmosphere, which is why you got those beautiful blue skies up there with those few clouds that have been popping up, and now there's more in the way of some moisture even aloft in the atmosphere, and so not as vivid blue skies. You can see the flow coming in here off the east, and also that's going to help out when you got a lot more moisture not only here at the surface but also upstairs in the atmosphere. If any of these storms do pop up, could have some a fairly decent downpour here and there. Won't last all that long, but just be ready for that. Low amount of mold this morning, and the updated count's going to be coming out in about a couple of hours. 89 at noon, 96 high temperatures, so we will shave a degree or two off temperatures. And of course, that's very dependent. Those clouds decide to sit over the thermometer at the airport, may even be a little bit lower than that. We are going to keep those rain chances around in through the weekend. What, if any, effect will that tropical system have on our weather? Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic authorities, Stephen Cavazos. Silence is golden?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was waiting for the ... Yeah, you know what? Things are golden on the roads right now. Nothing big to report. Just a few specks of lights out there. Some folks getting their morning started here. Our I-37 at Pecan Valley. Yeah, just a few cars out there this morning, and thankfully nothing to worry about. If you're rushing to get ready for work this morning or get the kiddos to school, you can take it a little bit easy right now. Again, the roads are looking pretty clear so far, and we're watching things closely. And right now on the map, you can see that is reflected. A lot of green you can see here. Around 1604, did spot a little bit of a slowdown out toward 90. That looks like it has since cleared up, but so far the roads have been wide open for you to get on your morning started and grab that cup of coffee. And if one of the destinations you're heading to this morning is going to be San Antonio, well, for our neighboring communities, a lot of green on the screen here as well. Coming in from Pleasanton on 37, 28 minutes right now, 17 minutes coming in from Highway 35 and Lytle. And if you are coming in from Highway 90 from Castroville, we do have about 18 minutes right now. So thankfully things are looking pretty good. And yes, silence is golden. We'll be keeping our fingers crossed that it stays that way. Mark, Stephanie?
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, San Antonio police say a driver who lost control of her car also lost her life. She died in a crash overnight near Interstate 10 and Vance Jackson. Katrina Weber is there with a live report. And Katrina, do police have any idea what went wrong?
Well, that's one of the things they're still investigating. Though you can still see signs of that investigation here on the road itself. The markings, the spray paint that investigators put on the ground showing the path that the woman's car took. It shows how she left the road and ended up on that grassy hill. Now, they say that there is that before that car came to a stop, it did roll over. That was here on the I-10 access road near Vance Jackson. Police tell us that woman behind the wheel was headed in the direction toward downtown around 12:30 this morning. For some reason, she lost control of her car. Paramedics tried to save her, but couldn't. That woman did die here at the scene. And right now, there is not a whole lot that we know about her other than she was in her 40s. Reporting live on the northwest side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Right now, tensions continue to grow outside of Kabul International Airport. You are looking live right now where we still see a number of U.S. Air Force aircraft on the tarmac. We saw one rolling a little bit earlier, one flight taking off just within the last hour or so.
Time is now running out for many to escape the country by the August 31st deadline. CNN's Brett Conway has more on whether that deadline is feasible and what happens next.
The wait, the fear, the exhaustion, the desperation. Emotions running high at Kabul International Airport. This is the moment they're all waiting for, hoping for. In just 24 hours between Tuesday and Wednesday, about 19,000 people were evacuated. And more than 82,000 have been flown out of Kabul since August 14th. But there are at least 500 and maybe as many as 1,500 Americans waiting to get out, not to mention Afghan allies. But U.S. troops are set to leave August 31st.
I don't see how we can get out what I think is a higher number of American citizens, not to mention the Afghan interpreters.
The Secretary of State says he believes it can be done.
We're on track to complete our mission by August 31st, provided the Taliban continue to cooperate and there are no disruptions to this effort.
But disruption is already happening. There are reports the Taliban is blocking Afghans from the airport. And a U.S. defense official says an attack by ISIS-K, a sworn enemy of the Taliban, is a very real threat.
We're operating in a hostile environment.
Contingency plans are in the works and the possibility of continued efforts even after the official operation ends. After that, for the future of this country in chaos.
That intense diplomatic work is ongoing.
I'm Brett Conway reporting.
This morning, more than 100,000 people are hospitalized with COVID-19 here in the United States. More than 3/4 of ICU beds in the nation are currently occupied, and about 30% are COVID patients. In Oregon, the National Guard and hundreds of nurses and medical staff have been deployed to help with the surge in patients. Mississippi set a new record for COVID deaths Tuesday as the state deals with a hospital staffing crisis.
For the first time, the U.S. Justice Department is using federal racketeering charges to arrest suspects for defrauding the elderly. In the scam, senior citizens were convinced their grandchildren were in legal trouble and needed thousands of dollars for bail. 8 people were indicted on charges of swindling more than $2 million out of 70 elderly people. Investigators say the ring allegedly operated in 15 states. The FBI says elder fraud is becoming a bigger problem as America's population grows older, with losses believed to be in the billions of dollars.
It's now 5:38, about 78 degrees.
And still ahead, a popular Halloween store looking for a chief spirit officer. We're going to tell you about the job requirements.
The scammers trying to take advantage of recent tragedies like the earthquake in Haiti and the continuing crisis in Afghanistan. What you need to know before you donate any money.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning. No rain in that shot, but we are expecting some today, tomorrow, and this weekend. We'll be right back.
Good morning. Welcome back. 5:41. Donations are pouring in to help refugees escaping Afghanistan, but the Better Business Bureau says scammers are taking advantage of people's generosity.
CNN's Mandy Gaither has some ways to make sure the charity you're donating to is credible.
Online scammers taking advantage of people's generosity as tragic events around the world inspire many to donate.
We're seeing a lot of American generosity at play in terms of interest in wanting to give to these organizations.
The humanitarian crisis in Afghanistan, the aftermath of Haiti's earthquake, and the deadly Tennessee flooding here at home, leading scammers to post fake online pleas and triggering the Better Business Bureau to issue a warning to donors.
They sometimes go to crowdfunding sites to give to a particular individual. The problem with that is that crowdfunding sites don't always vet individuals significantly enough.
The BBB's Wise Giving Alliance says scammers are using QR codes to trick people into opening malicious links.
They may even use the name of a well-known charity that you're familiar with. Recommendation is not to do it. If you want to make a donation to a recognized charity that you know, go directly to the charity's website and make the donation there.
Before you donate, the BBB says to be aware of these 3 red flags. 1, watch out for excessive pressure to give on the spot. Legitimate charities will welcome your support anytime. 2, watch out for claims that 100% is going to go to assist victims. Most credible organizations have administrative costs. And 3, charities without an established presence in the country they're serving. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mandy Gaither.
And time now is 5:43, and it's about 78 degrees out there.
Coming up next, we're checking with our friends over at San Antonio's Humane Society with a pet that wants to go home with you.
Well, it is itty-bitty puppy time, and Kim, can you find anyone smaller than that over there?
I know, I tried. I really tried, Mike, but this is pretty small. So this little guy, his name is Luke, and Luke is a Chihuahua, just a couple weeks old, so definitely not going to get any bigger than this, just like Mike said. Small, good lap dog. Puppy, lots of puppy in him.
But still plenty of energy, so
yes.
It'll want to play, it'll want to run around, chew on things, and still pretty good to run around the backyard with the kids, too.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. In the backyard when they get older, and they can run and play, and they'll have a lot of energy, all of that kind of good stuff. Keep them going.
What you got going on?
So we are definitely in need of volunteers. In addition, we need some dog treats. So any dog treats that you would like to bring, you can drop off to our Fredericksburg location. We use them for our enrichment. We use them for just about any and everything.
And
dogs.
Do you have, like, one of those wish lists also?
Yes, we do. Yes,
Okay.
Our on Amazon wish list. You can go on our website at sahumane.org/donate. And we've got a wish list from Amazon, from Chewy, just in general, things that we need.
Perfect way
so
to do it, 'cause
easy.
it's exactly what you need.
Yes.
What you want, a couple of clicks goes right to them.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Super easy.
Well, if you'd like more information, go check out all the puppies and kitties they have over there at the San Antonio Humane Society, 4804 Fredericksburg Road. 226-7461 is the number to call. Thank you, dear.
Thank you, Mike.
5:47 in your morning consumer headlines. A new Fitbit feature will not just track your physical health, it will also track your mental health. The fitness tech company says its Fitbit Charge 5 tracker will be able to keep score on how mentally and physically ready you are for the day. The $180 device will use an algorithm to look at your activity level from the previous day, along with how well you slept and your heart rate during your sleep. It will then generate a score each morning to help you measure your body's responses to stress. If your score is low, the device may suggest activities such as yoga, stretching, or a mindfulness session. A high score could lead to a workout suggestion. The Fitbit Charge 5 starts shipping this fall.
And Halloween lovers, listen up. One of the biggest Halloween companies, Spirit Halloween, is looking to hire you to be their first ever Chief Spirit Officer. So no former experience is necessary. As CSO, you will help lovers of the holiday stay hyped about it all year long. You'll also host a social media series featuring Halloween news, tips, trends, and more. Now to the perks. You'll also get $10,000 in cash and free costumes for a decade. You also get a VIP home decor shopping experience worth $500 at your local Spirit Halloween store. And you'll get to travel with a guest to Spirit Halloween's flagship location in September. To apply for the coveted position, just post a video or picture on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or TikTok, and submissions will close on August 29th. So that's coming up very soon.
$10,000 in cash.
Yeah, that's
free costumes for a decade.
I think the perks outweigh the job, really. This looks great.
True. Very cool. 5:49.
Let's go ahead and check in with Stephen Cavazos. I believe you like Halloween, right?
I love Halloween. One year
too.
I dressed up as Pinocchio.
Aw.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago.
That's cool. That's a good
and I picked out all the stuff myself. It wasn't one of those in-store costumes, but that's all the fun of Halloween, all the makeshift stuff you get to create. And
that's the fun stuff.
And his nose is not going to grow right now.
Mike was talking about Stephen's nose would not grow right now since he's talking about traffic.
No lies on the road. Just a few vehicles, that is. So let's get to it. 281 at Hildebrand. Pretty quiet right now, and it's been that way throughout the morning, which is, of course, what we like to see as we're getting the day started. Not very many issues out there. And bringing you to the map right now, you can see a lot of green out there. Seeing a little bit of a slowdown there coming in from 1604. Just a minor one there right around Loop 410, pardon me. But nothing big right now that's going to cause any delays if you're heading out the door in the next few moments. However, construction to look ahead to. Bridge demolition that's going to be taking place later this evening. It's going to be out towards 35 right at Watson Lane to Conrad's Lane. It's going to lead to a full closure of the northbound main lanes. Now that will be taking place Thursday, August 26th. That's today, and wrapping up Friday, August 27th. Tomorrow, almost there, guys. 9 in the evening to 5 in the morning when that's happening. And one last look at TransGuide, though, getting a little bit busier here off 35. A few more folks waking up with us, but right now I think the roads look good. No lies out there. I promise you the nose is going to stay where it is for now.
Very good.
I hope we get more trick-or-treaters because obviously it was there's always just a million of them in my neighborhoods. And I always tell this story. If one of the best trick-or-treaters a couple of years ago, a little girl, she was like yay big, dressed up like the princess from Frozen.
Aww.
Dad was walking dressed up as the snowman.
I love that.
That's
good dad.
Great dad.
It was the cutest thing in the world. Yeah.
I love to see that.
Adorable. Yeah, it was adorable. All right. Yesterday afternoon, started to see some of these clouds billow up. There were the beautiful blue skies in behind those clouds, but those clouds started to develop and build up, and then some of them did produce some showers and even a couple of thunderstorms. That's going to be the case again today. Right now, we've got maybe a few clouds out there. We had a pretty good sunrise yesterday, and then just after the sun came up, we started to see more of those clouds moving on in, and it looks like that's going to be the situation again today. So here's the computer model, kind of short-range model, and even by noon, it's got a couple of showers trying to pop up early afternoon, a few more of those showers, even a couple of thunderstorms. More are going to be filling in as the afternoon heats up, and it's not like everybody's going to be seeing rain today, but if you do, could have a couple of decent downpours just because we do have a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, and it's like a sponge going to get kind of wrung out by some of these showers and storms. Most of them then will be dying down once the sun goes down. Long-range computer model, and it does keep at least the chance of some rain in the picture throughout the rest of the week, tomorrow, and then going on into the weekend. And again, won't be raining constantly, might have a couple of heavier downpours. That'll be the situation into Sunday as well. And off to the east of us, as of right now, this long-range computer model, and a lot of models are in agreement as of right now that if and when this does develop into a tropical system, it would be staying well to the east of us. And in that case, because we're going to be on the kind of sinking side of it, lesser rain chances the closer that gets, as long as it stays well off to the east of us, and that'll be the case into Monday and Tuesday of next week. So here's what's going on with the upper level steering winds. The high had been parked about right on top of us. It's now starting to ease up to the north, so it's not a tight lid on the atmosphere. You get the flow coming in off the Gulf. A couple of these showers develop around here, so that's the case tomorrow or today through the weekend. And then here comes that low. Again, it stays well to the east of us, and that puts us on the sinking side of it. That's going to move up into the Tennessee and Ohio valleys, and then the high is going to try and build back in here. But it looks like even by the end of next week, it's not going to be right on top of us, so we still might have little disturbances trying to move on in here. And hopefully even more rain chances even going into the latter part of next week. So that's kind of a wait and see situation, though. 89 degrees, partly cloudy skies today at noon, and then high temperature up to 96. Few scattered showers and thunderstorms around the area. Again, most of us won't see rain, but if you do, good downpour here and there. Mid-90s all the way through the weekend, just about normal temperatures, and we'll still keep a few rain chances around even Monday and Tuesday.
Thank you, Mike. 5:53, about 77 degrees.
Now let's go ahead and take a look at your winning lotto numbers. We have pick 3, 533, Fireball 2, Daily 4, 2368, Fireball 7.
Cash 5, 4, 8, 16, 21, 26. Lotto Texas 9, 19, 20, 31, 45, 48. And Powerball 27, 39, 54, 56, 59. Powerball 24, Power Play 3.
Good morning. Coming up here on a Thursday edition of GMA, the latest from Afghanistan. Just 5 days left until the deadline for the U.S. to leave, and Americans there are now being urged to avoid traveling to the airport for fear of a terror attack, unless they're told to be there. This morning, the U.S. ambassador to Afghanistan is joining us live from Kabul for an ABC News exclusive. You'll see that and so much more right here on GMA.
A historic theater in San Antonio trying to make it through the pandemic. Woodlawn Theater preparing to open up their production of Cinderella this Friday. If you're interested in tickets, we have a link to buy them on KSAT.com. Still ahead on GMSA on your Thursday, a handful of new laws set to go into effect at the first of the month. Chances are some of them will impact you. We have more ahead. TransGuide right now. A few more cars on the road, quite a few as a matter of fact in that last shot. There's 281 at Hildebrand, and high school football kicks off tonight. More to come here on GMSA.
This morning, a woman shot while she was sitting in her car on the northeast side. The gunman still on the run. Details ahead.
New fires popping up on the West Coast have farmers scrambling to protect their livestock. We'll have the very latest.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, we're at a humid 77 degrees. Not too bad, though. We are excited about rain chances, though.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And a good morning to you. It's Thursday, August 26th.
Happy Thursday. Thank you for joining us. It is 6 o'clock, so you have time to get that coffee before you head out on the roadways.
You do. And we're going to talk to Stephen Cavazos in just 1 second. But Mike is here with more on some improving rain chances. And you've been telling us for a while, don't get super excited. But hey, at least there's a chance over many days.
Yeah, like yesterday, we had some of those showers and thunderstorms that popped up. You know, the clouds moved in. It did finally knock temperatures down. We still hit 97. But you know, if you keep a 30% chance of rain each and every day, yeah, odds are when it's all said and done, most of us may see some rain when it's all said and done. Oh, there's an airplane taking off right there. The destination's unknown. Looks like right now we only have a few clouds out there. So sunrise is probably going to be fairly cloud free like yesterday. And then we'll have some developing right after the sun comes up. Temperatures 77 out there at the airport, 72 Kerrville, Rock Springs, and Fredericksburg is at 70 right now. And the humidity, it's not a steam bath, but you notice it when you step outside. Mold is on the low side, and the updated count's going to be coming out about an hour and a half or so. So temperatures are going to be staying pretty much steady at this point. We're still about 2-3 degrees above the normal average low temperature. Make it up to the upper 80s by noon, and already by noon, there may be a couple of showers and thunderstorms starting to pop up, and then as the afternoon heats up, a few more of those are going to be developing. We'll end up with a high temperature up to 96. So still just a hair above normal, but we'll shave a degree or two off. And same thing over the next couple of days and keep those slight rain chances around here. So a closer look at the weekend forecast is coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority and Stephen Cavazos. Anything going on?
Still time to grab that cup of coffee like Steph was mentioning, Mike. 35 at St. Mary's. Yeah, a few more folks out on the road now that it is 6 a.m. And we're seeing the things pick up here on the shots at TransGuide. Thankfully, the issues have not been big. We saw a crash a little bit earlier this morning around 3:30 out towards Loop 410 at Marbach. That cleared out rather quickly, and traffic flowing smoothly here, as you can see on these shots here. The map has been pretty green all morning long. I have not seen any big yellows or reds out there that would indicate any slowdown. So yes, definitely time to grab that cup of coffee, get your morning started, and get the kids to school or get to work on time. But more importantly, stay caffeinated. As you can see here on the screen, it is pretty green. If you're going to be traveling into the downtown San Antonio area from any of these neighboring communities, coming in from Floresville, right now we have 29 minutes. And if you are traveling in from Livonia on 87, 23 minutes at this hour. And pretty green from Seguin on I-10, 29 minutes. One last look at TransGuide US 281 at San Pedro. Things are shaping up to look quite nice. Let's hope it stays that way. We'll be watching things closely. Mark, Stephanie?
Thank you, Stephen. A woman is dead following a rollover crash on the northwest side overnight. San Antonio fire crews say the woman in her 40s was driving along the I-10 access road between Vance Jackson and West Avenue around 12:30 this morning when she lost control. The vehicle went up an embankment and rolled over. Firefighters tried to rescue her, but were not successful. She died there at the scene. At this time, it's unclear what caused the crash.
Police are looking for the person who shot a woman while she was sitting in her car. It happened around 9:30 last night in the 4800 block of Raybon Drive, just south of Eisenhower Road on the northeast side. That's where San Antonio police say the man walked up to the woman's vehicle and shot her twice before taking off. The woman was taken to Bansi in critical condition, but she is expected to survive. She told officers she did not know the suspect.
More than 100,000 people are hospitalized with COVID here in the U.S. this morning. More than 3/4 of ICU beds in the nation are occupied. About 30% are COVID patients. In Oregon, the National Guard and hundreds of nurses and medical staff have been deployed to help with the surge in patients. In the southeast, Mississippi set a new record for COVID deaths yesterday as the state deals with a hospital staffing crisis. And in New Mexico, the state's top health official says they are on track to be in crisis standards of care by next week.
Governor Greg Abbott has signed an executive order that bans governmental entities from requiring the COVID-19 vaccine. Mayor Ron Nirenberg is now responding to that order.
Considering the fact that we have vaccine mandates for a lot of things to keep people safe. I don't know what his intentions are. They are clearly not what ours are, which are about protecting communities.
The order also applies to businesses that partner with the state but does not extend to private businesses and nursing homes. Bexar County continues to see more than 1,100 cases a day, according to the 7-day average. More than 1,300 COVID-19 patients are being treated at area hospitals.
Pfizer and BioNTech are now seeking the FDA's approval of a third dose of their COVID-19 vaccine. Companies say they plan to have all their data submitted in the next few days. Findings based on a little over 300 people received the booster shot a few months after their second dose. They say the subjects who got the booster vaccine had higher antibodies and also suffered mild to moderate side effects.
Back here at home, Metro Health will offer booster shots and incentives for shots coming this fall. The department will roll out the third shot starting on September 20th for those who got their last dose of the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine at least 8 months ago. Some providers and pharmacies in the area are already booking appointments, and some people have already received their third dose. The city will also offer $100 gift cards for those getting their first or second dose starting this fall. You can read more about this story on our website at KSAT.com.
Well, all morning we've been keeping a very close eye on the situation in Afghanistan. You're looking live right now at Kabul International Airport. It is about 4 o'clock in the afternoon there, and you see a number of U.S. Air Force aircraft still on the tarmac. We've seen planes taking off this morning. There is an urgent new warning to Americans trying to evacuate before the U.S. withdrawal deadline next Tuesday.
And right now, they are being told not to approach that airport in Kabul. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has the latest.
Overnight, the State Department sending out an urgent warning telling U.S. citizens in Afghanistan to avoid traveling to the airport in Kabul because of security threats outside of the gates. The alert also warning any Americans gathering at 3 specific airport gates to leave immediately, adding, "Be aware of your surroundings at all times, especially in large crowds." It's not clear what prompted the advisory, but earlier, Secretary of State Antony Blinken expressed concern about threats from a new branch of ISIS, ISIS-K.
We're operating in a hostile environment in a city and country now controlled by the Taliban, with the very real possibility of an ISIS-K attack.
Up to 1,500 Americans remain inside Afghanistan, among them 23 students from a school near San Diego.
Extremely worried.
The students were visiting family over summer vacation when the Taliban took over.
We understand currently that they're still in homes with families and friends, so we're hopeful.
U.S.-led evacuations are ramping up. 19,000 people were flown out of the country between Tuesday and Wednesday, but outside the airport, a chaotic scramble. These civilians facing desperate conditions, wading in knee-deep sewage, waving their documents, hoping to get out. Parents are now using markers to write their names on their children's bodies after reports of families being separated. Heavily armed Taliban are patrolling the streets as we learn more about the arsenal left behind by the U.S. for Afghan forces. 980,000 infantry weapons, 22,000 Humvees, and about 150 aircraft, all of it possibly now in the hands of Taliban fighters. As for the evacuation of Americans, the Pentagon says helicopter missions are rescuing people behind Taliban lines. The State Department says it will keep evacuating people after August 31st, but has not explained how. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
We are also keeping an eye on Wall Street this morning. Another record close for the S&P 500, index gaining a little more than 0.2%. The NASDAQ hitting a record high as well. Investors are encouraged by the FDA's full approval of the Pfizer vaccine. They're also hopeful the Fed could keep its monetary policies steady for now.
Mortgage applications are on the rise. The Mortgage Bankers Association says purchase applications rose by 3% last week. That's the highest since early July. Applications could be fueled by mortgage rates, which are edging lower.
In your other morning headlines, wildfires continue to pop up over on the West Coast. In California, new blaze called the South Fire sparked near San Bernardino County, near Los Angeles. At least 2 structures have been destroyed and 500 acres have burned so far. Evacuations have been ordered for homes in the area, and nearby ranchers are scrambling to rescue their livestock. Crews say the fire may have been caused after a construction vehicle hit a rock, igniting sparks, which then spread to nearby dry brush.
And time now is 6:09, and it's about 77 degrees out there.
Tired of your iPhone not unlocking with your mask on? Still to come, Apple is trying to make things a little bit easier.
Plus, a new attraction in Times Square, taking the Big Apple to new heights. After the break, we're going to take you on the new Ferris wheel that has a lot of people buzzing.
Outside with live cam, a lot of people buzzing in Green near New Braunfels last night. Did you know Kevin Costner played a sold-out concert at Green Hall? He did. What? Exciting night. And tonight, an exciting night on the football field. High school football kicks off in South Texas. We'll be back. Nothing says going around in circles in a steamy summer heat like a ride on a Ferris wheel.
And luckily, an 11-story Ferris wheel just opened up in New York City in Times Square.
ABC's Will Gans braved the heat, so to speak, to check it out.
You've seen the London Eye, you know the Singapore Flyer, and maybe you've ridden the Las Vegas High Roller. But at long last, the Big Apple has a big attraction of its own. This is the Times Square Wheel. How are you guys with heights?
He was a little scared.
Absolutely no, I was not. I was no fear at all. Right in the middle of Broadway, a brand new Ferris wheel.
Times Square is the center of the world. An empty Times Square was symbolic of the pause and the pandemic. And a Ferris wheel in Times Square is symbolic of our resolve and our recovery.
These days, about 200,000 people passing through Times Square, but the goal, to get closer to the 375,000 pre-pandemic numbers.
Kind of brought us here, gave us a reason to come here and see one of the coolest places.
Each ride lasting about 10 minutes.
I really went for Instagram and some TikToks.
110 feet above Broadway with southbound views into Times Square Canyon. You can see the New Year's Eve ball right behind me. It's a once-in-a-lifetime view, and let's be honest, a once-in-a-lifetime selfie opportunity too. The Times Square wheel arrived on trucks from Texas last week and was constructed in time to open Wednesday.
I'm a little bit afraid of heights, but I felt very secure. I feel like, yeah. Here we go.
That's always good. When you're 110 feet off the ground, it's nice
to
feel
secure. Yeah.
For tourists like these ones from Baltimore, if you could describe it in one word, just one, what word would you use?
Exciting.
Exciting.
Yeah. Amazing.
Amazing.
Thrilling.
Thrilling.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Hi.
Hi.
And that was ABC's Will Gans reporting. And now to consumer news. Some good news if you're having trouble using Face ID wearing a mask. The word is that Apple is working on a solution, and they are testing an upgrade for the iPhone 13. However, it is not clear if it will be ready by the time Apple unveils the 13 model. That is expected in a few weeks.
Hopefully that would be a software update for all
Everybody,
the iPhone models.
Maybe eventually.
Hopefully. We'll see. Right now, 6:15, about 77 degrees.
Go ahead and check in with Stephen Cavazos.
Yeah, my iPhone has a hard time unlocking when I wake up from bed. It's like, who is this person? I don't know who that is.
Dark,
yeah, not looking too good in the morning, but the roads are looking good. Loop 1604 at Wiseman shows a few folks out there. It's been very quiet, and I hope we don't jinx myself when we say that. Thankfully, nothing big out on the roadways that's going to be causing any delays right now. As you can see from 281 at Hildebrandt, we have just a few folks out there, a few more here of 281 at San Pedro, getting their morning started early with us, hopefully grabbing that cup of coffee as we get this new day rolling. And let's go ahead and take a look at that map right now. As you can see, this has been the predominant color all morning long. Lots of green on the screen. Of course, we'd like to see it. Right now, the Loop 410 and 1604, nothing that's going to cause any delays right now. You see a little orange icon up there by San Marcos. That is a stalled vehicle, but it doesn't look like it's interfering with any of the traffic, at least here in town. So thankfully, again, some good news out there. And if one of the places you got to head to, aside from that coffee shop, maybe the gas station, we got those AAA gas prices right now for you. Bexar County does report the average gas price here is $2.62 today, and around the state, we're looking at $2.79, and the country average gas price is $3.14. Keep in mind, we did report that AAA has said that the highest gas price was $3.19. $3.18 was fluctuating for about a year. That is the highest gas price that is for a year. Right now, they are reporting $3.14 for that national average there. So hopefully some good news. But right now, we're taking a look, one last look that is here at 37 at Hackberry, as we're seeing a few more folks out on the roadways. Guys?
Thank you, Stephen.
Yeah, not too bad. And at the school bus stop, I guess, just a little humid out there.
Yeah, not too awfully bad, but it's not like a steam bath. Still, it is that summertime, warm, humid start to the day. But at least by the afternoon, we're going to be seeing some chances for some rain out there. 76 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, and then we are going to be up to a high temperature of 96. The average high temperature is 95. So yeah, in the ballpark, and that's down because the trend, of course, going back to right around this time last week was 98s, 97s. Yesterday was 97. So we'll start to trim a degree or two off high temperatures as we go into not only this afternoon, but also heading on into the weekend. All right, beautiful picture from yesterday. That is, like it says, absolutely beautiful sunset. Yes, indeed. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. All right, we've got a few clouds hanging around here. Sun's going to be coming up in just under an hour. And of course, yesterday we had that nice sunrise, and then those clouds decided to move on in there and started to break up. We will keep, mixture of sunshine and clouds around later on today. Yesterday, of course, we did have some of the showers and storms as this loops back on through right there. And then once the sun went down, they fizzle on out. That'll be the case the next couple of days. And around the country, yeah, a couple of spots up to the north of us, but really not a heck of a lot going on. And you can almost make out this clockwise rotation. That's the high, which has been sitting on top of us. That moved in last week, and of course, hasn't been around that much this summer, but that's what started to push down in the atmosphere and really started to heat things up after having below normal temperatures for the past almost couple of months. All right, there in the Caribbean, Hurricane Center still watching it, says it's basically a sure thing it is going to become at least a tropical depression. And computer models are still trying to get a grip on this thing, and some of the latest information is, and again, this is still, until a low actually forms up and they can really pinpoint and get a good grip on it, this is the speculation, I guess is the best thing to say, is computer models are pretty much in agreement that this is going to be staying well to the east of us, hitting right around, say, New Orleans, and then moving up mid-Mississippi Valley, and then off toward the Tennessee Valley. And actually, when this makes land, we'd be on the non-rainy side of it, if you will. The rainy side would be the right-hand side, so we're going to be in the sinking air, but that's not until the first part of next week. There's the high, which is sort of easing on out of here and opening up. There's these little waves in the atmosphere. It's just enough to kind of get things going in the afternoon, and so that's why we do have rain chances really each and every day now through the weekend. And as the low continues to work its way into the Gulf of Mexico, again, it is going to be staying well to the east of us, and this is the right-hand side, and direction of travel is where the heaviest rain is, and then the left-hand side is the sinking air, and that's why, ironically, once that moves on in here a little bit closer, our rain chances do start to go down the very first part of next week. So that will, like I said, continue off to the east of us. So forecast today, we're going to be up to 89 degrees at noon, partly cloudy skies. High temperature makes it up to 96. Scattered showers and a few thunderstorms out there. Most of us won't see rain. If you do, could have a pretty decent downpour here and there. Mid-90s over the weekend. And still those rain chances here and there. And we'll make it back up a couple of degrees by the first part of next week.
I'm glad we have the rain chances.
Yep, my grass could use it.
Yes, mine too. Thank you, Mike.
621, about 77 degrees.
And just ahead, Delta Airlines is raising health care costs for their employees who remain unvaccinated. Details next in your GMA First Look.
No matter what sometimes keeps you up, Nature Made helps you win the night. Our extended release melatonin helps you fall asleep and stay asleep. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand.
Does your plug-in fade too fast? Try Febreze Fade to 5 plug. It has built-in technology to digitally control how much scent is released to smell first day fresh for 50 days. La 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 la.
Had enough? No, arthritis. Here, new Aspercream arthritis. Full prescription strength. Reduces inflammation. Thank the gods. Don't thank them too soon.
Kick pain in the Aspercream. Lots of vitamins A and C. And only 45 calories a serving. Good morning indeed. V8, the original plant-powered drink. Veg up.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the cost of COVID getting a whole lot higher, not just physically, but financially too, especially for the unvaccinated. Delta Airlines saying Wednesday that starting November 1st, unvaccinated employees will face a $200 monthly surcharge on their health insurance. In fact, Delta CEO says on average, unvaccinated Delta employees who were hospitalized cost the company $50,000 per person.
You're not getting a vaccine really isn't a personal decision. It affects everyone in our society. And for financial purposes, it affects everyone in your insurance pool.
Experts say COVID hospitalization can cost as much as $100,000. So the question this morning is, what will insurance companies cover? Coming up at 7 a.m., we'll talk to Dan Abrams about what this could all mean legally. With your GMA First Look, I'm Mona Kosarabdi, ABC News, New York.
And time now is 6:25, and it's about 77 degrees out there.
Still ahead on GMSA, you'll never guess what delayed Vice President Harris's flight to Vietnam. We've got the details.
And we're going to have the latest on a deadly rollover crash that happened overnight on the city's northwest side. Katrina Weber is staying on top of the story, and she's going to join us live with the latest.
We will get to those stories in a few minutes, but first this morning, the Spurs have officially signed guard Bryn Forbes to a new contract. Returning to the Silver and Black, the team hopes he will improve their three-point shooting since he was fourth in the league from long range last season. Welcome back, Bryn. Missions bounced back against Midland last night, game 2 of their series. 5 Missions pitchers combined to allow just 1 run on 2 hits, and some clutch hitting late in the game was enough for a 3-1 victory over the Rockhounds. The series continues tonight at 7:05 at Wolf Stadium. It's a big weekend for high school football. Among the many matchups, Madison Mavericks taking on the Clements Buffaloes at Linhoff Stadium tonight at 7. We're going to bring it to you live. You can watch that on MeTV. And a reminder, KSAT has your one-stop shop for all things high school football. Head over to KSAT.com and search for big game coverage for scores, schedules, and more.
Things go horribly wrong for a woman driving her car on this access road overnight. Police say she was killed after her car rolled over. I'm Katrina Weber. I'll tell you more about it.
More hospitals across the country in dire need of ventilators as COVID cases hit a 7-month high. I'm ABC's Faith Abube in Washington. Details coming up.
And outside with live cam, the very beginning of our Thursday morning sunrise. It's going to be a big night too. High school football kicks off here in South Texas. Good morning, everybody. We've made it to Thursday, the 26th.
Happy Thursday. Thanks for joining us this morning. Yeah, I'm glad we made it to Thursday. Glad it's almost Friday, and we're glad about the rain chances as well.
There are rain chances. Of course, Mike and our team keeping a track on what's happening in the tropics right now this morning. You'll have more on that coming up.
Yeah, which is still not even a tropical depression officially yet. So, all the computer models are looking at that blob out there is the best way to describe it. So once it finally does become actually something to grasp onto, then they can get a better feel for it. But still right now, the trend is, and I'm going to talk more about this coming up in the longer weather, but that it will be staying to the east of us. Okay, first of all, looking off to the east, obviously. The early morning glow. We still got some clouds hanging around here this morning. Temperature right now is at 77 degrees. The average low temperature, normal low, is 74, so we're above that. Not much of a breeze to speak of right now. The humidity actually went up. The dew point did go up ever so slightly, so you notice it when you step outside. And you saw some of the clouds we have out there. We also have a little bit of extra moisture aloft in the atmosphere. Instead of that real darker shade of gray, it's now a lighter shade, which means a little more moisture aloft in the atmosphere, which means a few more clouds later on today. And then also, not only down here at the surface, but upstairs, you've got a lot of moisture to get squeezed out. potentially some heavier downpours with these showers and thunderstorms that will be popping up later on today. Mold is on the low side. The updated count's going to come out in about an hour or so. Warm and humid this morning, and then partly cloudy. A mixture of sunshine and clouds and scattered showers and thunderstorms. Same thing tomorrow, and then the same thing going on into the weekend. So not overly great rain chances each individual day, but each day we do have that chance for some rain. So odds are you may see some before it's all said and done. Plus temperatures are going to be somewhat held in check. Details on that coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic authorities, Steve Cavazos, haven't had really a lot of big to talk about.
I was talking to our friends at TransGuide, Mike. We like to say that the moon was not in full swing out last night, which obviously sometimes we see a lot of problems out when the full moon is out. But thankfully, the issues have been quiet. It's been quiet. And we're happy with that. As we can see here off Loop 410 at Jackson Keller, there are a few more people getting their morning started early with us right now. And as we're inching closer to 7 a.m., we're hoping that it does stay quiet because the roads are looking good. And if you can plan to stop at a coffee shop, gas station, nothing big right now on the roads that's going to cause any delays. As you can see from the screen, it's been pretty green all morning long. And like I said, we're keeping our fingers crossed that it does stay that way. And if you're going to be traveling into the downtown San Antonio area in the next few moments, we do have those inbound times, 25 minutes coming in from I-10 and Bernie right now. And we got a 24-minute commute time from 281 and Bulverde and 26 on 35 and New Braunfels. So yes, it has been quiet so far and we're watching things closely. But as always, keep your eyes on the road as well. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephen. Accident investigators trying to figure out what went wrong to cause a driver to lose control of her vehicle. That woman was killed overnight when her car crashed and rolled over.
It happened near Interstate 10 and Vance Jackson. Katrina Weber is there with a live report. Now, Katrina, was this the only car involved in the crash?
Well, based on what police have found so far, it looks like that woman's car was the only one involved. There's spray paint on the ground here that shows the direction she went, how she left the roadway and then went up on that grassy hill. But again, police still trying to figure out why this driver lost control. Paramedics tried to save that woman, but she died here at the scene. Her car rolled over on the access road of I-10 near Vance Jackson. Police say she was heading east around 12:30 this morning when she lost control of the car for some reason. They did have to shut down the access road, including the turnaround at Vance Jackson, while this investigation was going on. At this point, we don't know a whole lot about that woman, only that police told us she was in her 40s. Reporting live on the northwest side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thanks, Katrina. 2 men are in the hospital following a head-on crash on the city's northeast side. It happened around 1:30 this morning on Wurzbach Parkway near Heroes Stadium. That's where San Antonio police say a man in his late 20s was driving the wrong way when he crashed into another driver. Now, the wrong way driver was pinned in his vehicle and had to be rescued. The man in the other vehicle who was driving the right way actually fled the scene, but officers caught up to him later in the Heroes Stadium parking lot. Both men were taken to the hospital and are expected to be okay.
Also new this morning, San Antonio police say a man and woman are on the run after causing a crash in the downtown area overnight. Happened just after 11 p.m. at the intersection of North Alamo and 9th Street. And that's where SAPD says a man and woman collided with another vehicle after running a stop sign. They also crashed into a pole and building before running away. No one was hurt in the crash. CPS Energy was called out to fix the utility pole. Last night, the Board of Trustees at Schertz Cibolo Universal City ISD officially made the decision to strongly recommend the use of face masks and other protective measures for students and staff.
That's after a 4-hour school board meeting that featured testimony from many parents and community members. As a result of that meeting, the board is not requiring face coverings in SCUC ISD schools. During the meeting, the board says it reviewed up-to-date district data on the spread of COVID and results from recent surveys sent out to parents and staff.
More than 6,700 parents filled out the survey. Most of them were in favor of a mandate. The results were similar among staff.
You give people the choice, they're going to send it because it's so sick. It's happened already. That's the choice that you want me to put.
This is completely destroying kids' mental health. Suicide rates are skyrocketing up to 50%.
There are currently 322 active COVID cases in that school district. There are 121 cases across 8 elementary schools versus 93 cases across 4 high schools.
And this morning nationally, there's new data on booster shots.
It comes as COVID hospitalizations across the country top 100,000 for the first time since January. ABC's Faith Abube has the latest.
This morning, more hospitals are in need of ventilators as the number of COVID patients across the country hits a 7-month high.
It's a very different beast.
Hospitals in Georgia and Texas now receiving hundreds of ventilators from the U.S. stockpile. In Galveston, the COVID ward at this hospital is full. Nearly all COVID patients in the ICU are on ventilators, and all but one are unvaccinated.
I say every day, I wish those people could take a walk through these units and see what these patients are going through.
As a CDC advisory board plans to meet next week to discuss the rollout of COVID vaccine booster shots. On Wednesday, Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson revealed data showing their booster shots dramatically increase protection.
The Johnson & Johnson shot, actually a booster shot, can raise those antibody levels up to 9 times. And Pfizer can raise it about 3 times. That's really important because that might actually not only prevent some of those infections in people who are already vaccinated, but it might also prevent the spread in the future.
More drama from both sides of the debate over mask mandates. In Connecticut, anti-mask protesters disrupted the governor's discussion about the new school year. And in Texas, a man in favor of mask mandates stripped down to his underwear at the school board meeting to prove his point.
At work, they make me wear this jacket. I hate it. It's simple protocol, people. We follow certain rules. We follow certain rules for a very good reason.
And the current surge in COVID cases is taking a terrible toll on young people. The latest victims in Louisiana include a high school football player and a baby under the age of 1. In Washington, Faith Abube, ABC News.
Right now, we would show you the very latest out of Afghanistan. We have been watching this live. You're seeing a live look right now from Kabul International Airport. If we could pop that banner out for 1 second at the bottom, you see a number of U.S. Air Force C-17 still on the ground there at Kabul International Airport.
The CIA and the U.S. military are conducting extraction operations to evacuate Americans using helicopters and ground troops.
In just 24 hours between Tuesday and Wednesday, about 19,000 people were evacuated, and more than 82,000 have been flown out of Kabul since August 14th. But time is running out before U.S. troops leave on August 31st.
There are at least 500 Americans and maybe as many as 1,500 who are still waiting to get out, but U.S. troops are set to leave again August 31st.
Secretary of State says contingency plans are in the works if evacuation efforts are disrupted or need to be extended.
We're developing detailed plans for how we can continue to provide consular support and facilitate departures for those who wish to leave after August 31st.
As for what happens after that, U.S. officials say they're talking about everything from counterterrorism and humanitarian efforts to the future Taliban-run Afghan government.
And a lot of questions remain this morning after Vice President Kamala Harris's flight to Vietnam was delayed. The mysterious Havana syndrome may be to blame. The rare condition has sickened hundreds over the past few years, and it caused vertigo, nausea, head pressure, and some have been diagnosed with traumatic brain injuries. U.S. diplomats, spies, and troops around the globe have been affected, some severely enough to force their retirement. In this case, White House officials say those affected were not traveling with the vice president. She addressed the issue when she arrived in Vietnam, saying they are looking into it.
Trending now on our website, the month of August almost over, and there are a handful of new laws that will go into effect in Texas on September 1st. Some of these new laws involve constitutional carry of firearms, medicinal marijuana, and abortion procedures. To find out more about the changes coming next month, head over to KSAT.com. It is a lengthy but a very informative read. 640, about 77 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, how the coronavirus is affecting drug use in minority populations. We're back after this.
When the pandemic sent most people into isolation at home, it also sent many others out into the streets. Bexar County suffers from some of the highest rates of opioid overdose in the state. According to the city, opioid-related overdose deaths in San Antonio are also higher than the national average.
More people are dying from substance abuse in this country than are dying by handguns.
Nationally, deaths among white people rose by 24%, but overdose deaths in the black population jumped by 90%. Hispanic deaths increased by 115%, and deaths among American Indian Alaska Natives jumped by 169%. Unfortunately, babies are also being impacted. The rate at which newborns with opioid withdrawal symptoms is higher here in Bexar County than anywhere else in Texas, according to addictioncenter.com.
When someone is exposed to their drug of choice, their craving increases, their wanting of the drug increases, as well as their body is reacting in a certain way.
Addiction Policy Forum reports that individuals with substance use disorder found it challenging to continue needed services during the pandemic, from recovery support meetings, treatments, and naloxone services to reverse an overdose. But even with access to help becoming more available, addicts are still having issues breaking their bad habits.
We're really asking someone to fundamentally change their lifestyle and who they are.
RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
And Hunger Action Month kicks off in less than a week. It's also when we will be live streaming a KSAT Community Town Hall. Our goal is to help fight hunger here at home. Max Massey and Sarah Costa will be your hosts, and we'll be joined by San Antonio Food Bank CEO Eric Cooper, along with experts on food insecurity in Bexar County.
We also want to hear from you. If you have any questions about food insecurity, you can submit those now on our website, ksat.com. The town hall is Wednesday, September 1st at 2 p.m. That'll be live on our website and on the KSAT streaming app.
And the last look at the roads looks pretty good so far, Stephen.
Yeah, you know, we've been keeping our fingers crossed all morning long that it is staying quiet, and that seems to be the case from these shots at TransGuide. There hasn't been any issues to talk about this morning other than, you know, just how busy traffic is getting when it comes to as we inch closer to that 7 a.m. rush hour. You can see getting a little bit busier from that shot at TransGuide I-10 at Proban does show the sun's peeking out a little bit there, but we do have more folks out on the roadway. So, of course, we want you to be very careful if you plan on heading out in the next few moments. We do have a stall, though, that came up just a few moments after we last talked to you. I-35 northbound at O'Connor, not causing any delays right now. So thankfully, still a good time to drive up to New Braunfels if this is in your direction traveling up I-35 northbound. But as you can see, it has been predominantly pretty green, as which we like to see there. Right now, we will likely see some slowdowns as the morning is picking up, seeing a little bit here right along Loop 1604 that is. But we are going to be watching things very closely. And we want to give you one last look here at TransGuide. Yeah, getting a little bit busier out there, Mike, and while people are going to want to check their cars, windshield wipers may be a good idea to check out. Make sure they're working.
Yep, always a good idea, and especially since we do have a couple of rain chances coming up here in the next few days. Great picture, beautiful picture out there at Woodlawn Lake, but I love the caption when he talks about the ducks that sort of photobombed a little bit, and this reminds him of the low-level flyby, Tom Cruise in Top Gun. Man that thinks like us, like Mark and I. Thank you very much for that one, Mr. McClellan. All right, beautiful start this morning. There's some clouds out there off to the east, and probably going to see more of these clouds developing once the sun comes up, kind of like what we did yesterday. And the humidity, which it's present this morning, I'll put it that way. In some places it is getting very humid, especially down there around Beeville. But it will drop down somewhat later on this afternoon, but maybe not as much as what we've seen the past couple of days. Of course, it'll come back up overnight and then drop down somewhat, or not as much, I should say, by tomorrow afternoon. So it is going to stay more humid as we go on into the weekend, but with that extra humidity around here, that's going to be helping out with some of the rain chances. So we will keep that chance of rain around today and then going through the weekend. With the extra humidity also, maybe even a couple of heavier downpours if you get some of these showers and storms to pop up. So one or two of them out there. And again, this is that computer model with sort of the broad brush there, but there will be some of those showers and storms even developing by later on this morning. Same thing tomorrow, same thing on Saturday as well as Sunday. All right, then we start to get into the first part of next week. Got to look off to the east, and everything right now has the system, which if and when it does develop, staying well to the east of us, and we would be on kind of the sinking side of that. So it's funny that once this gets closer, our rain chances will start to go down by Monday and Tuesday of next week, maybe one or two of them out there. But again, the whole overall deal with that system down there in the Caribbean is the fact that it hasn't developed into anything yet. So until it really does, then computer models are going to be able to get a much better hold on that as far as where it's going to be going. 89 degrees, partly cloudy skies today at noon, and then a high temperature up to 96. A couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms around there. Call it a 30, almost 40% chance for some rain today, and a few decent downpours as well. Same thing tomorrow, and then we will get, so it's kind of funny, for about almost the past 2 weeks, it's been that broken record summer weather. same thing day after day. That's going to be the situation through the weekend, but a different flip side of the record.
Flip side of the record.
Yep.
We like this broken record coming up. Thanks, Mike.
Mike Osterhage's greatest hits. Thank you, Mike. Not until right now at 77 degrees.
And tomorrow on GMSA, hearing for the first time. You don't want to miss this little guy's reaction to hearing his mom and dad's voice for the first time. It's a story that's touching us all here at KSAT.
Outside with live cam. Glad you're with us on this Thursday morning. Moving right along and getting your workday started. We'll be right back.
VIA will soon have a new app that helps the blind or visually impaired better navigate its bus system. I'm Sarah Acosta. Coming up tomorrow on GMSA, learn how this app is different from other GPS applications.
What went wrong? That's what accident investigators want to know after a deadly crash overnight here on the northwest side. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. A woman was killed when she lost control of her car and it rolled over. Well, that crash happened around 12:30 this morning on the Interstate 10 access road near Vance Jackson. Police say the woman was driving east when for some unknown reason she lost control of the car. It rolled over and ended up on a grassy hill alongside the highway. Paramedics tried to save the woman but couldn't. She died here at the scene. Police say the woman was in her 40s, but so far they have not released her name. Reporting from the northwest side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
It's a huge day in high school football. Over 100 teams will be back on the field tonight for the first time in over a year.
And a lot of questions still lingering about what games will look like this year. Will fans be required to wear masks? Will players have different rules on the field? All questions that need answers.
Coming up on GMSA at 9, David and RJ will be live at Alamo Stadium talking to an athletic director for SAISD about what you can expect if you're planning on going to a game tonight or at all this season. And real quick, I mentioned Kevin Costner played Green Hall last night.
Yes.
He's playing again tonight, but that show is sold out.
Oh, sorry,
sold
Mom.
out. Yep.
Sorry, Mom. Maybe next time. Let's go ahead and check in with Stephen Cavazos. At last check, the roads were looking good.
They've been looking good all morning long. Mark and Steph, you can see here from Loop 410 at Marbach, getting busier as the morning is getting going here. But let's go ahead and bring you to the map right away as we can show you that we do have that stalled vehicle still off 35 northbound. But you can see here that it's right along O'Connor Road. But we want to bring your attention further up I-35 southbound. Seen a slowdown. They're going to find out what's going on there in a few minutes. But stay with us for all those latest updates. Mike's got your forecast.
And good looking start this morning. A couple of clouds out there. We'll see more clouds developing, and 78 degrees right now. 75 Castroville. Yeah, plenty of humidity out there. 96 for a high, and even a few showers and thunderstorms this morning and developing later on this afternoon. About a 30% chance for rain. That's the situation in through the weekend. Very quickly, we were talking about this. Kevin Costner was in the movie The Big Chill. You never saw his face. He was the one lying in the casket, their friend that had committed suicide.
Uncredited.
Uncredited, yeah.
All right.
Didn't know that.
We're going to leave you with a live look at Kabul International Airport, where it's in the afternoon there. The latest on GMA.